we know that Shedeur Sanders was a first-round prospect by many analysts. There was not a single analyst that had him dropping out of the first round. Like the big analysts, like the Mel Kipers, the Phil Yates, those people that get paid a lot of money to do it.
There was a few who had him in the second. There's a singular one fallen out of the seconds, but everybody was like top 5. Maybe top 20, maybe top 25, but he's not falling out the first round.
Now, it was after the 21st pick, the Steelers, there was like a fraction of a percentage that Shedeur would still be on the draft board. So we get to the top couple picks. People are saying, look, the Giants, they flew out to Colorado, hosted a private workout. They're really interested in Shedeur. But you have to take into consideration the type of person/player Shedeur was being leading up to the draft. He didn't show up to the combine.
Nope.
Didn't show up to his pro day. He's not showing up for things because he thinks he is the best quarterback in this draft class.
Correct.
So we get to the first couple of picks. Cam Ward selected. You get to the Giants pick. Of course, they couldn't pass on someone like Abdul Carter. And you're thinking, well, maybe the Saints are going to take him. That's what Mel Kiper said. It would be stupid if the Saints didn't take him. And I'm going to tell you what, Si. What's Saints did take him. Let me show you a video. So before I play this, Shedeur is like the 8th pick of the draft. Maybe the Saints are on the clock. It's right before the 9th, either because you only have like 7 to 10 minutes. I can't remember the exact time frame that you're on the clock, right? That you can decide. So you don't have much time to make a phone call.
In the first round, it's like 10 minutes.
I think that is accurate. I want to say 10 minutes. At most 10 minutes. So you don't have a lot of time to make a phone call, decide what player you're going to take. Like, you have to make these quick. Roger Goodell has to know. The people making the jerseys has to know. Like, it all has to be like bang, 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 because you don't have a lot of time to sit there and hog and go through.
Which is also why, like, when you're watching the live stream of the draft, how it's going to be a little delayed is because a whole bunch of dominoes have to fall before the public can really know about the draft pick.
Exactly. So now we're on number 9. This is the New Orleans Saints.
You got that call. You know what's going on? Ready to go. Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Ready to go. Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go. What does that mean?
What? What are you saying?
I don't know.
How you going to ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that? You said you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
So basically that was Mickey Loomis saying, hey, ended up taking Kelvin Banks at 9. We're going to wait till the second round to draft you. That's pretty much what he was saying. And you know what quarterback they took in the second round. It was none other than Tyler Shuck. But if you heard that phone call,
finest.
If you heard that phone call, you would know that sounds nothing like senile Mickey Loomis. Like, it sounds nothing like him. You could tell that's a younger voice. I just don't know what he was thinking in terms of, hey, this is Mickey Loomis. Like, I'm excited, whatever. So word gets out, like, this is a prank call. If you saw Jeff's comment, he said, look, they did Shedeur dirty. And they did. Ends up being, I think his name's Jax. Jack or Jax. Yes. I can't remember if he's got the Jax. Yeah. Jax Ulbrich, which is Jeff Ulbrich's son, the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. And I was so happy to hear that it happened to a franchise like the Atlanta Falcons.
Birds.
Because now they have been fined $250,000 and Jeff Ulbrich has been fined $100,000. So, Cy,
$350K.
before we get into any more logistics, happy birthday, Jenna.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I love the name Jenna. I think Jenna is a nice name. But before we get into the logistics of the rest of the segment, what are your thoughts on this? The prank call. What does it mean for football going forward? And how do you prevent these type of issues from happening again?
I honestly, when I saw this initially, I really thought it was fake. I thought it was like when the accounts were coming out tweeting about it, I was like, oh, this has got to be fake. Like, there's no way this is real. And then to learn that how Jax found the number was he saw his dad's iPad just open and the number was sitting out. So he just either memorized or he like snapped a picture of it and then proceeded to do that. That's on all different levels, just really cruel and it's disrespectful and it's dirty. Like, imagine if you like, yes, I know Shedeur Sanders, he is this more polarizing character with how he's Deion's son, how he skipped a lot of the big things he needed to do in the pre-draft process because he had this cloud and this assumption and this ego that he's the best guy. But even then, he's still somebody who his goal and his dream is to play in the NFL and is to get drafted in the NFL draft. And he getting a call like that on what's supposed to be his biggest moment of his life, it's sickening. It's sickening. Nobody deserves something like that to happen. And as to what needs to like go on, what needs to crack down with this not happening again, because he wasn't the only person. Tyler Warren got prank called. Chase Lunt, offensive tackle from Connecticut, 6th-round kid, got prank called like 15 different times leading up to his name officially being drafted. Like, things like this, it's crazy. And in fact, there was multiple players, it shouldn't happen. So these NFL-only numbers need to actually stay NFL-only numbers. Only one or two people should be allowed to call these numbers. How they keep getting leaked, or even it's just lucky guesses from people, that's not cool. That should not happen.
So I kind of wanted to pick your brain on how does this happen? How do we prevent it? So as I was researching for this segment and laughing as I was researching because I kept seeing that Dirty Bird logo. And if you couldn't tell, I am a New Orleans Saints fan. I don't think I have anything New Orleans by me right
he's
now.
He's not repping the gear right
I'm
now.
repping my college right now. But if you look at kind of how they distribute these players' phone numbers, why in the world would the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons have a quarterback's phone number? What does he have any link to Shedeur Sanders? He doesn't.
He doesn't.
So this phone number was distributed to the entire front office and all the people in the war room. And that's like, I think they said it was about 50 people. So you have 50 people in the Atlanta Falcons room that have Shedeur Sanders' private phone number. That should not happen. No. It should be the highest people, the people that have to do with Shedeur Sanders. Maybe give it to the OC, give it to the head coach, give it to the GM, of course, probably the owner. Like, these are the guys that have to have the phone number.
In my opinion,
the janitor,
at most 10. At most 10 people should probably have this number. The fact that it is around 50, that's a problem in itself. I don't care if you're in that war room. If I'm an assistant linebackers coach in that war room, why do I need a quarterback's number? I don't.
Well, the janitor wiping the floor shouldn't have Shedeur Sanders' phone number, but I'm not.
He probably does have it. This is
the deal, Cy. Jeff Ulbrich's son is not 13. He's not 14. He
21.
is 21. He's our age. He's 21 years old. Making this phone call thinking it's funny. Now, I was not on the Shedeur hype train leading up to the draft. I never was on the Shedeur hype train leading up to the draft. But you have to think that even someone like Shedeur, who had his chest all puffed out and his shoulders wide, walking through doors like this, not being able to walk through them, there's a little bit of emotional kind of investment once you get that phone call. Like, you get that phone call as long as you've been in college, as long as you've been in middle school, just working, perfecting your craft.
A lot of people, when they first touch that ball, their goal is, I'm going to make it to the NFL, period.
Especially when your dad's one of the GOATs of his position.
Yeah.
And now you are getting a phone call saying, hey, we're going to pick you up at the latest the second round. And you don't get drafted to the 5th. I'm glad it happened. He needed that humility. Like, he needed that hard. He needed to be humbled. And I'm glad it happened. But at the same time, we should not be
He took it right on his chin. He took it right on his chin. Constantly, it's thank you, God. God has first for everything.
I like that a lot.
And I got there's a lot of respect on that end. But the fact that he got prank called, we don't need that.
It's not funny that Shedeur got prank called. It's funny that the Falcons got fined. So the issue with this is,
do you think they would have gone away without a punishment?
This was the big question, was why are the Atlanta Falcons getting fined? Why isn't it just Jeff Ulbrich? And I think the only answer to that question is they're trying to set an example for the rest of
they don't want this happening
the NFL. Because let's keep this clear. If my dad was a defensive coordinator for an NFL team, I am not doing anything to jeopardize my dad's job. The carelessness of Jeff Ulbrich's son is crazy to me. Like, he does not care at all about his dad's job with the Atlanta Falcons. Heck, I would love a job with the Atlanta Falcons, even though they are my least favorite team of all time. Well, second least favorite. Ole Miss is number 1. But
there it is.
And
he's an Ole Miss kid. He's an Ole Miss kid.
Jax Ulbrich?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Did you not know that? That makes it even
worse.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh, Jax Ulbrich. You know what Stephen A. Smith said on First Take?
What did he say?
Yesterday morning, he said, and I quote, Jax Ulbrich needs a butt whooping.
Agreed.
Stephen A. Smith was like, dude did not get whipped enough as a child. And Jeff Ulbrich seems like that dad that would just sling off a belt off his waist and just like start swinging. You know, he gives that type of aura and appearance. But the fact that it was his son that did this, thinks it's a funny joke, like, it just crossed the line. It definitely crossed the line. As clown of a prospect Shedeur Sanders was, he was humiliated on. It was day 3. He had to wait to get drafted after being told, "Hey, you're going to be a first-round guy. You're going to be taken in the first round." I will say,
it was his buddy by the looks of it. He was actually the one who called him, but you can see in the video that they took that he's just sitting on the couch next to his friend, like surprised, like shocked that it happened.
Yeah, he incriminated himself. He took a video of him calling Shedeur. What in the world? Did you want to get caught? Did you want? What was your mindset? Because, you know, me and you are really close to 21 years old as of right now.
Correct.
And I'll tell you what, there's not a single thing that goes through my mind where I'm going to prank call an NFL draft prospect, because I have too much respect for the game. I have too much respect for the people that are honing their craft, trying to get better.
I've had so many discussions and gotten to know so many people who are on that journey, who are trying to become an NFL player. And I've heard the stories. I've seen the work. Like, I'm not going to disrespect that. I'm not going to it is not my job or position or want to interfere with that. I got a brain on my head. I'm not doing something dumb like that. It's just it's crazy. It's
No, and I get it, but the fact that you have your front office who knows the entire number of a draft prospect is a little alarming. Like, as much as responsibility as the Atlanta Falcons need to take for this situation, the NFL needs to also take responsibility and change that. There is not a single person besides the top dogs that needs that number. Like I said earlier, the janitor does not need Shedeur Sanders' number, who's picking up a spiel in the back of the war room. He does not need Shedeur Sanders' private phone number. What is he going to do with it?
nothing.
Nothing. So the fact that you're giving everybody access to a prospect's phone number, it raises concerns. It raises alarms. So as much as the responsibility is for the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL needs to wake up and say, hey, we got to change this process. And they need to change it now.
Mm-hmm.